Public transportation in France is amazing. However, it is not that easy to understand how to navigate it as a newcomer, what ticket to buy and how to validate it. I will explain all of that so that you don't get lost. And I will also explain the different local public transportation, the regional and the national ones, and how to differentiate them. I will share at the end of this video the best app you can use to plan all your local commutes. Bonjour, I'm Giga from the blog Expat in France. I help English-speaking expats to move to France and navigate French culture and bureaucracy to build their new French life on their own terms. Now, if you're planning to move to France and don't know which sponsor-free visa is the best option for you, take the French visa quiz via the link under this video. You should know that requesting the wrong visa is one of the first reasons for visa refusal. So get clarity and take the quiz to gain control of your move to France. First, let's start with the city's public transportation systems. Let's see the general rules, but you should know that they will differ depending on the city's public transport network that you use. Therefore, it might be a bit different whether you are in Toulouse, Paris or Lyon, for example. But there are some common grounds. Each city has their own public transportation network. This means that they have their own app, their own ticket prices and systems. But Citymapper will allow you to do local transportation research on the main French cities. This is my favorite app when it comes to local transportation systems, but you can also choose to use Google Maps or the local transportation network app that usually gets information in real time when there are disturbances. You can see on the screen right now a list of the local transportation app for the main French cities. So what are the most popular type of transportation in France? Locally, it starts with the buses, of course. When a small city has public transport, it will primarily be buses. Then the bigger the city is, other type of transports will be added to the transportation network. Then there is the tramway, overground small trains which are only used within a city or a metropolis. A tramway doesn't go from one city to another that is not from the same metropolis. Then comes the tube or subway called métro in French. There are 6 French cities with metro network. First, Paris, which was built in the year 1900. Then the Marseille metro network was built in 1977, shortly followed by Lyon and Toulouse, and finally, Rennes metro network was built in 2002. Now you can understand why the Parisian metro looks quite old compared to the other French cities. New tramway lines have been built in the past few years in a few French cities. It shows the will of some local authorities to encourage giving up on cars for public transport. Tramway is the preferred system in terms of construction and installation costs, and it also takes driving space in favor of public transport. No other French cities will likely to be added to the current list of French cities with a metro in the future. Now let's talk about city bikes. In June 1999, Rennes set up a public bike shared system and it was considered the world's first fully computerized self-service bicycle hire scheme. The Rennes city bike system was the model for the economic system that was widespread throughout France. In 2005, Lyon launched the Velov, making it the biggest self-service bicycle system at the time. Then Paris launched this famous Vélib in July 2007, and the number of self-service bicycle services continued growing with Orléans, Montpellier, Nantes, Nice, Valence, Saint-Étienne, Strasbourg, Lille, etc. So we've just seen 4 types of public city transports: bicycles, buses, trams, and metro. Note that in some cities you will find electric scooters, but these are private services separate from the transportation network. Now, depending on where you live, you may also encounter all of them or just some of them. Now let's understand the type of tickets available. Paper tickets, monthly or annual membership cards, touch with your smartphone or credit card. This is the most recent option that might not be available in all cities. Also, in most cities, your ticket is valid for 1 hour for the entire network, including all types of public transport, buses, tram and metro, except Paris, which decided to make it more confusing since the connection from metro to tram is not possible with the same ticket, for example. In any case, don't forget to validate the same ticket when you enter a tram, bus or metro within the hour, and of course, always keep your ticket with you. The machine will let you know if it is still valid or not. Watch out because some transportation systems are not public or have a different pricing system and therefore you cannot use the same type of ticket. This will be the case, for example, with the Orlyval to go to the Paris-Orly airport or the Rhône Express to go to the Lyon airport. In some cities like Lyon, you can do a return trip within an hour with the same ticket. However, this is not possible in Paris, for example. So always try your ticket and see if it is still valid, as I said before. Now let's jump into the tickets for local transportation. I will not go into every single ticket, don't worry. I will just give you a baseline again. Remember that this may vary city from city. As an example, Lyon alone has 20 types of tickets or membership, so let's go briefly into the most popular one. So you have the single ticket, currently around €2, valid for 1 hour for unlimited distance within the city network, so this means not the regional network. In Lyon, you can change from buses to tram to metro, which is totally fine as long as you are within the hour limit. Then you can buy a bundle of 10 tickets, which in some cities can be cheaper than buying single tickets. Also be aware that buying your single ticket directly from a bus driver is more expensive than buying it at the machine or by using your credit card as touch and go. The family ticket also is a great option in Lyon and it currently costs less than €7 per day for the group. The family ticket is valid for 1 day for a group of 2 to 5 people traveling together. No need to be a family, but the age range must be respected. This applies to one adult accompanied by 1, 2, 3 or 4 children, aged from 4 to 17 years old inclusive, or 2 adults accompanied by 1, 2 or 3 children. The ticket is valid every day of the week as well as during school vacation. Please note that the group must travel together. On the first validation and at each connection, remember to validate the ticket as many times as there are people in the group during the day. Then you have what is commonly called the 24-hour ticket, but it usually goes from the time that you punch the ticket until the time that the local transportation shuts down. So it might be midnight, 2 a.m. or all night on Fridays and Saturdays, depending on the city. Next, we have the monthly card, which works on a calendar basis only. So from the first day of the month until the last day. It cannot be from the 12th until the 11th of the following month, for example. Residents who need public transportation every day of the week usually choose that option. It currently costs roughly between 70 to 90 euros monthly before any discounts, usually applicable to students, elderly, large families, usually with at least 3 children, and people earning very low wages. Also, you should know that if you are a salaried employee, the employer based in France must contribute 50% of your monthly transportation based on payment proof. This is to incentivize people to use public transport instead of the typical 1 person per car to commute to work. There is also the annual membership that usually grants 1 month for free. This is not necessarily a good deal if you travel more than a month per year outside of your city. Keep in mind that there is a legal minimum of 5 weeks of vacation per year in France, and some people have the chance to have more vacation depending on the industry or the company size. I will do a video about benefits on employees in France that you will find here. So if you're a visitor or not a frequent user, in some cities you will have the option to use your credit card as a touch and go option, basically as if your payment card was your transport ticket. In Lyon, the system will automatically calculate how many times in a day you have used the network and will charge you at the end of the day either a day ticket or single tickets depending on what's cheaper based on your use of the day. Now let's see how and where to validate the ticket. For the tram, there are usually no barriers to access the tram station. You will need to validate your ticket inside of the tramway itself, the same as for the bus. Then the French metro network has a barrier at the station entrance, so you will need to validate the ticket when getting in. Make sure that you keep your ticket all the way, since there can be controls. French people tend to sneak in without a ticket, so these controls are done inside the network. The controllers use uniforms. They are not undercover passengers like in Germany, for example. But they are usually located in groups in a corridor so that it is hard to escape if this is your plan. They will ask to see your ticket, and if you don't have a valid ticket or membership card, they will request your passport or national ID card and give you a fine. They will ask you to get out of the transport at the following station with them to finalize the fine payment. Be aware that it is compulsory in France to carry an official ID with you, such as passport, national ID card or residence permit. So this means that a livery card or any other type of card with your name and photo is not considered an official ID in France. Also, it is cheaper to pay the fine directly. If you wait, the price increases. If you like this kind of content, then make sure to hit that like button. And if it is the second or third time that you've seen my videos and that you're not subscribed yet, this is a sign that you should subscribe, so make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. This helps my channel more than you think. Thank you so much for your support. Now, what about regional and national public transportation? I love trains, and it's much better than the plane in my opinion if you travel within France and sometimes nearby countries, but you need to anticipate to have a good price. Unfortunately, trains are not subsidized as planes in France, despite obvious environmental advantages. So you have three other types of public transport: within region, inter-regions, and national. For the regional transportation, you will find trains called TER and coaches, les cars in French. Regional trains go from one city train station to another, and they usually have many stops in between. They stop in small towns where national trains wouldn't. Then you can usually find coaches from the train station that will reach smaller villages or towns without a train station. TER trains are managed independently by each region in collaboration with SNCF, the National Train Network public organization. Note that the Paris region chose to use another name than TER. They like to do things differently, as you can see. Paris region TER are called Transiliens. Here you have an example of the three types of machine in one of the Lyon train stations. On the left, you have the city public transport machines from TCL that allow to travel on the local buses, tram and metro. Then in the middle you have the national train machine with the logo SNCF. It can also be written Grande Ligne, and finally on the right hand side you have the regional train machines, often in blue with the TER logo. Here is an example of a machine in Paris with the Navigo sign, which is the name of the Paris and Île-de-France membership card. Île-de-France is the name of the Paris region. On this machine, you will be able to buy tickets for the bus, tram and metro, and also regional trains traveling within the Île-de-France. You see here another type of train that currently only exists in the Paris region, le RER. Unlike Transilien suburban trains, the Paris regional trains, which originate and terminate at one of the 7 Paris's main train stations, RER train cross the capital, stopping at stations where the metro also runs. RER trains also run more frequently than Transilien trains. Note that the regional train goes way slower than the French high-speed trains called TGV, Train Grande Vitesse in French. The normal high-speed train can reach 320 km per hour and the newest ones at 360 km per hour, while the regional trains can reach 160 km per hour and 200 km per hour for the newest ones. Now, what about the prices? Of course, how fast the train goes and the technology involved will impact the overall ticket price. The regional trains are slower and cheaper than the national high-speed trains. Regional train prices usually don't vary much in time, so if you buy your regional train ticket one day or 1 month before, the price will not change. However, anticipation is a huge factor in the price of national train tickets. You can usually buy your national train ticket up to 3 months in advance, but this may vary depending on the type of national trains. For example, if you buy a Paris-Lyon return ticket, you could pay between 50 to 75 euros return if you're lucky. However, if you buy it a few days in advance only, you could easily pay 150 to 200 euro return depending on the time you choose to travel. Also, there are several types of national trains with different comfort and prices. You have the Ouigo trains and the Inouï trains. The tickets for both types of national trains are purchased from the same machines and websites, and you will just see the Ouigo or Inouï logos and the difference in prices, of course. Ouigo has the cheapest prices on the market. These are the low-cost trains with fewer services on board and less comfort. Room for legs is smaller too. No restaurant coach and limited free luggage are accepted. So make sure you check the conditions if you have more than one luggage. Currently, all the Ouigo trains offer include the possibility to have one small hand luggage of 36 per 27 per 15 centimeters and one cabin luggage of 55 per 35 per 25 centimeters of up to 30 kilos. Luggage with larger than allowed dimension or additional luggages can be added at the time of booking for a €5 fee as I filmed this video. The maximum accepted height for the luggage is 1,30 meters. Only skis remain an exception to this rule and are still accepted. The extra luggage cost increases to €20 if you don't buy in advance and instead pay on the day at the station. Then there are the Inouï trains for the premium offers and the classic TGV offer for other travelers. There is no weight limit, but still within the 130 per 90 centimeter limit, except for the skis again, but you must be able to carry all your luggage with no assistance. Now there are a few things you should know if you are traveling with special items. Let's start when traveling with a small pet. Yes, pets are considered special items by the SNCF. On Inouï TGV trains and TER regional trains, besides the guide dogs that travel for free, there is a €7 fee per pet. They should be traveling in a dedicated bag or crate no bigger than 45 per 30 per 25 centimeters, either placed on your lap or at your feet. They should not take the room of luggages. Your dog can also travel on a lead for the same price and should remain at your feet as well. On Ouigo train, all pets pay a €10 fee and make sure that you include them in your booking. Now, what about skis, sports equipment, and musical instruments? To ensure you travel on any TGV Inouï trains is as smooth as possible, your skis may accompany you as a hand luggage, provided they are stored in a designated ski bag and tagged properly. While there are no restrictions on ski size, each passenger should carry no more than one pair. Similarly, aquatic boards, snowboards, and musical instruments no larger than 130 per 90 centimeters can travel with you as hand luggage as long as they are in suitable storage bag. Now, what about bikes? Regardless of the train you choose, there are 3 options for transporting your bikes, subject to availability, of course. First, when you travel with your bike unassembled and stored in the dedicated spaces on board of the train. Then, when you travel with your folding bike, provided that it's folded and does not exceed 130 per 90 centimeters when folded. And third, when you traveled with your bike disassembled and transported in a dedicated bag with maximum dimension of 130 per 90 centimeters. Recumbent bicycles, tricycles, tandems, freighters, long tails and trailer of any kinds are not permitted. If your luggage exceeds the allowance or have special items larger than authorized, you will need to contract a luggage service beforehand. If you cannot disassemble your bike, you must book a special space for it when you buy your train ticket. The fee is €10 per bike per journey. Now, where should you book your train ticket? The official platform for booking SNCF train tickets is the SNCF Connect. However, a more user-friendly alternative is the Trainline application and website, which is entirely translated into English, making it a much easier option. That's a wrap on the transportation systems in France. I hope this video helped you to understand the diverse transportation French system. Like, subscribe and share if you've learned something new. I've left another video here that you might like. I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching until the end. Merci et à bientôt!